Hi, my name is Joyce Moreau. I'd like to offer you the different processes that you could utilize at the time of grief when you lose a family member. And the reason why I'm going to go over these different options is to make sure that you have a wise decision at the end of this video, and you can decide for yourself what choice you'd like to use. We're going to go over the 4 different processes that I know of. The first one is ground burial. Ground burial has been around since the beginning of time, actually. And there's a chemical that helps us break down. It's called alkaline. Cremation's been around for anywhere from 3,000 to 11,000 years, depending upon who you talk to. That's a chemical also. That's propane and gas. Our process, which is called aquamation, uses 5% alkaline, 95% water, because your body is 60 to 80% water, which makes sense for us to use the water. The other one is cryogenics, which is liquid nitrogen, and that's freezing. Now, all these processes all use chemicals. So if somebody says we're a chemical base, yes, you could say yes, we are, and yes, they are also. The cryogenics is the only one will not break down. That is freezing. So we're not going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about the 3 that actually do break down. Ground burial, cremation, and aquamation. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to prepare us to ground burial because we are actually just like ground burial. So we're going to start with that. Ground burial takes about 5 to 20 years for you to break down to remains, which is bones. Ours takes 4 to 14 days for the process. Now what we're going to use is, again, I said before, is 5% alkaline, 95% water. We do the paw print, the hair clipping. Then we take your family member and very gently place them into a stainless steel cradle, which is the System PET 400. And then from there we do a prayer. We put the 5% alkaline in, hit the button, and the temperature goes to 202. And that process lasts for about 24 hours. It has holes that are perforated on the top and the bottom, so the water fills up very slowly. As you can see, our temperature gets to 202, which means we do not get to boiling. Okay? The process here takes about 24 hours to run. This is ground burial. This is us. It breaks you down to amino acid, sugar, salt, peptide, and bones. So now what's the difference? Because it's the same. The ground burial carries RNA, DNA. Ours does not. It was the first process since 1992 to get rid of man-cow and cow-and-hoof disease. So there's no RNA, DNA left. Now, because there's no RNA, DNA left, that amino acid, sugar, salt, peptide is actually fertilizer. There's a vet that's in Colorado that has 2 of our processes, who actually has a farm, who does hospice care for pets, that takes the water as a byproduct and spreads it out on our farm. Remember, there's no RNA, DNA left. Now we become eco-friendly. Ground burial gives off methane gases. We do not. Now we become more gentler than ground burial. Okay, now I'm going to take you into the process of going to a cremation. Because it is made with concrete or brick, it is porous material. So because it is porous, and I place your family member in there, no matter if I sweep or vacuum it out, I will always get remnants of somebody else's particles that was in there prior. So that's called commingle. Ours is a stainless steel cradle that does no cross-contamination. It's only your family, guaranteed. So ours is guaranteed, theirs is commingle. Now, because the flames are anywhere from 16 to 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit, it actually burns away up to 20% of your remains. Ours, we can give you at least 20% or more back because ours only goes to 202. We do not boil even. Boiling is at 212. So our temperature is a lot lower than 16 to 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit. The other thing is, if you have a prosthesis, the prosthesis will melt. In ours, the prosthesis will not melt. The prosthesis can actually be reused by the surgeon, theoretically, but technically they cannot. Now, if you have clothing, clothing will burn in the fire. Ours, clothing, we could actually fold it back up give it back to your family members, and you could reuse it. There's no damage done to the clothing even. When you're dealing with cremation, you're dealing with carcinogens in the air. Ours is 100% pollution-free. With flames, you also have the smell, and I hate to bring that up, but burning flesh. Ours smells clean because animal fat actually makes soap. So now our process becomes the most gentle, eco-friendly, dignified, respectful way to go, period. And we do it with a lot of love and care. From our process, after the process is complete, we bring them into a drying room. They go onto trays. On the trays, they dry very naturally. They air dry. That's why we call ourselves nature. Everything is done very natural, just like ground burial. After the process of drying, we bring them to the last stage where they go into powder formation, where we gently put them into an urn.